Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm the owner of Viv Jewelry, and today I am taking you through the steps on how I made these cherry blossom earrings. In Toronto, around April and May, the cherry blossoms bloom in Trinity Bellwoods in a High Park. I decided I wanted to bring them to you because actually with the lockdown, Toronto fences them off, which is freaking like why, but yeah, so these are the arches. I've made about 16 pairs of different styles and I'm gonna take you through how I did that. This is a style that I've worked on a lot over the last year. I really love doing floral earrings in different types of colors and designs, and I feel like I'm getting a lot better at it. And these are some of my favorite collection, and I think they'll be available by the end of the month. So yeah, let's get to it. So to start, I'm getting my colors and I'm blending them to the shades that I want. I'm using these colors to make my base, which will be a gradient. So to make this gradient, I'm folding the lightest color into a triangle, and then I'm folding a darker color into a triangle as well, and I'm gonna put them together from lightest to darkest. It looks a little weird right now, but once I run it through the pasta machine, you'll see that these colors blend really beautifully together. I ended up switching it up a little because it wasn't lightest from darkest, but now it is. Now I'm going to run it through the pasta machine. Really pay attention to how I pass it through, because I always pass it through on the fold side first. This prevents any air bubbles and makes sure the colors blend really beautifully. I passed this through probably about 6 or 7 times, and that's when the gradient really starts to form and become smooth and blended. Here's how it ended up. It's not really important how it looks because it's gonna get covered anyways. Now I'm grabbing the colors that are gonna go underneath the flowers, so that means I'm making branches and leaves and little vines. This purpley gray color will be my branches, so I'm smoothing it down. I rolled it out really thin, and now I'm cutting it into thin squiggly lines, and I'm gonna place it on the base blue. This slab is gonna look weird and awkward for the first little bit, but bear with me because once we start making those flowers, it's gonna turn beautiful, but it has to go through this awkward phase. So I'm laying all the branches down. And then I'm going in with my darkest green and rolling it out. I cut these into little pieces and I'm just laying them randomly over the branches. These are gonna be the little green stems of what you see on cherry blossom. Yeah man, I just keep going with this. I got a lighter color now. I'm gonna do the same thing. After this, I got a lighter color and I'm gonna do the same thing. It can be pretty tedious, but it's fun at the same time because I know it's gonna turn out beautiful because of all these small details I'm doing at the base. After all those little squigglies, I'm cutting out some small leaves. This is just another detail that I like to add. These will pop out underneath the flowers. They'll end up being really pretty and a really nice accent. Okay, here we go, buddy. We're getting into the petals. I'm doing the same gradient thing that I did with the base. So it turned out like that, and the leaves at the bottom are gonna be a lot more pink, just that's how cherry blossoms are. So right now I'm freehand cutting the petals. It's again kind of tedious. They turn out looking kind of weird until all the petals are together. So this is me taking out like the negative clay, and now I'm gonna place the petals on the slab. And I just keep going with this until I feel happy. Sometimes I'll spend super long on this. Sometimes I'll spend like 2 minutes. I blended it again so it's a little bit lighter. So now I'm gonna layer these on top. And I just keep going with those small details. After this, I took that same color and started doing little pieces to make it look like they were farther away. So these are smaller flowers and smaller petals. This is another light color that's going to be layered on top. I just keep adding white to that previous color that I was using because cherry blossoms are pretty much white, but just like a little bit of pink. And these petals are a little bit bigger because these are the main character. These are the genuine color of cherry blossoms. All the rest, they're just, what do you say, like side characters. Yeah, I just keep going until I feel happy. I'm taking the lightest color and I'm cutting it out with a ginkgo shape cutter, and I'm actually pinching the bottom to make it less perfect because I don't like perfect. I started cutting them for smaller petals. I was actually playing around. I've never done this technique before, so that was pretty fun because they turned out friggin' beautiful. I love when I try new things and it actually works out for me. But you can see the layering is really starting to create something beautiful here. Now I'm going in with this yellow and I'm putting yellow in the middles with this star shape cutter. This just adds a little bit more. I think cherry blossoms do have that yellow middle. I also went in and did little stems in the middle to give it a little more depth. To me, this part gets tedious because the fun part for me is doing the petals. The rest, I'm like, meh, meh, whatever, but then this makes it look really pretty anyways, so that's okay. Holy, hurry up. Oh, and now I'm adding details, just like the last finishing touches before I roll it. I felt like it needed a little bit more of that dark pink, but now I'm done. I'm gonna roll it. I do this before I put it through the pasta machine just to make sure nothing moves when I pass it through. This is very nerve-wracking. I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. I never do, but I still feel that way. This flattens everything and you'll see my favorite part. Texture, baby. I love doing texture. This is what makes it. This is a technique that I discovered. I was just playing around, but this is my absolute favorite part because by the end it looks like you've done line work on these flowers. I think it just brings it all together. Without it, it wouldn't feel the same for me. And I don't want to say like this is my style, no one else can have it, but I really feel like this is what distinguishes my style is whenever I do floral earrings, I always do this technique. Sometimes doing this texture alone can take up to an hour, but I enjoy all of it because it's so peaceful. It doesn't feel tedious. Now I'm starting to add some smaller details. This just like brings it all together. This is what makes it really, really beautiful. Not that it wasn't before, but like this, man. Here's the slab before I'm about to rip it apart. I get really nervous around this part because I feel like I'm gonna mess it up or not get enough pieces for how much time I put into it. This was fine though. I did great. This turned out amazing. I baked it after this at 50 minutes at 275. Now I'm sanding them. I do have an electric drill. I just don't use it. This takes a lot more time, but I think I can get like harder to reach places. After this, I drilled holes in them to where I want the jump rings to be. And then I assembled them all. This is where the magic happens. This is where they come to life. This is where they become wearable. And yeah, this is really, really exciting because I love the way these turned out. And the big reveal is coming right about now. Look at those. Oh, I love these so much. Beautiful. I want to keep a pair, but I'm not going to. Yeah, and here are a few of my favorites. I love the circles and I love these mini ones. So that's that. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a different pair on now. Hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you liked this type of video. This is my first, oh, wait. This is my first full process video on YouTube. So if you like these, yeah, please let me know. Please like and subscribe. And I hope you have a beautiful spring day. God, I'm awkward.